Next part of the song is a series of big, chunky, chuggy riffs. Ostensibly, you could consider it a bridge as it leads into the solo section. First, we have this little transition moment moving between this chord shape, which if you'll think back, all the way back to the beginning of the song, looks pretty familiar. And that big chord is take your standard 3-note power chord shape and then raise your octave. And it alternates between a syncopated pattern of that chord and then your 2 low strings played open simultaneously. Sounds like this. And then we move into, you might think of it as the sort of A part, the A section of this big chunky bridge. All of the numbers that I'm going to say in terms of fret position refer to notes being barred across the 2 low strings. So everything is a series of fourths here, which may be surprising. If you were to just watch my fingers, you might think we're in a drop tuning, but we're not. I just love the way that stacking fourths together sounds when you are tuned low, especially with distorted guitar. It's a move that I got many years ago from Trey Azagthoth. Well, it's not like he showed me this personally, but he talked about it in an old Guitar World article, and I just love the way that it sounds. It's big, it's chunky, it's weird sounding, but it's not inherently the same kind of discordance that you might hear when you start introducing more typically discordant intervals, whether it's the flat 5 or, you know, a major 7 or a 9, whatever, things like that, or a minor second, all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of riffs on this album, it's got an A-B-A-C kind of pattern. So it's going to start 6-5, open, open, 2-3, open, open. Then 6-5, open, open, 1-4, open, open. 6-5, 2-3. And then 8-11, 12-9. Put it all together. And there's the first part, the A part, if you will, of the big chunk bridge. Now the second part, the B part, however you want to think of it, of the bridge, has a more sort of almost like slammy kind of riff. Here we are using a more discordant chord shape. So you've got your sort of stacked fourths, but then adding this note here. So you could think about it in a number of ways. I mean, you could think about it as a diminished chord with the fourth in the bass, or it's some sort of, look, I don't know. It's big and it's ugly. So in this case, the first chord shape you hear, 6, 6, 7 on your 3 low strings. And I also hit that open D sharp string. Nope. F. Anyway, open fourth string. So 6, 4, and then palm mute it. 6, 4, 6, 4, 3, 2. And then 2 low strings played together simultaneously, syncopated, ba-da-bop, ba-da-bop. And then we go back to the chunky bridge riff A. Now the slam riff is going to stay mostly the same, except the beginning of each phrase, rather than starting with this chord shape on your low 3 strings, we're going to move up to the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, but keep that same chord shape. and then we're playing notes a minor third above where we were before. So instead of here, it's here. And instead of going 6-4, that kind of descending movement, we're going to grab the 7th fret on our 5th string, dig in, get you a tasty little squeal, and bend it up slowly. Just sort of sets the riff off a little bit differently. Play that 3 times in a row, and then the 4th time, you're going to grab the 7th fret 1 string higher. And then we're off to the races for the guitar solo. The guitar solo section is pretty short, pretty straightforward. It's got kind of a punky D beat sort of thing going on. We start playing in G. So we're just moving back and forth between a minor chord of the key that we're in, which again, in this case is G, and the low note. So you play that minor chord, again, think of it as an A-B-A-C sort of thing. Then you're going to play that chord and move it up a minor third. The C here is one of the few times I play a sort of regular power chord shape on this record. 7th fret, and then 6, 6, 3. Then the solo modulates up to C. You would think of it as being an E. Point is, just listen to the numbers. Don't think too much. It's death metal. Don't think too much. We start with this sort of hammer-on pattern. So on your 5th and 4th strings, you're barring on the 5th fret and then hammering on. So you're going from this to this. And then there's this little descending diminished pattern. And then you're done. And then it's right back to the verse. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, wow, this sure would be a lot easier if I had the tabs. Well, guess what, everyone? If you join my Patreon, you have access to the tabs, as well as more guitar lessons, stories about how these songs came into existence, behind the scenes tour videos, so much more. Hit the link in the description. Come over and hang out on the Patreon. We do all kinds of cool stuff over there. All right, I'll see you all next time as we continue to dig into the song Wound of Existence.